Hello students, let us start topic number 10.4, coherent and incoherent addition of waves. Now students, what do you mean by coherent and incoherent waves? Students, coherent waves means those waves which have same frequency as well as constant phase difference are known as coherent waves. Here in figure you can see on the surface of water two pin. Here this S1 and S2 are the pins. When these two pins are tapped on the surface of the water, then the waves are produced on the surface of water. Now these two pins, they are moved up and down with equal frequency. So in that case, whatever the water waves produced on the surface of water, they will have same frequency. Also, the phase difference between them will remain constant, and here the phase difference between the two waves will always remain 0, and 0 is a constant. So here we can say that these two sources S1 and S2, they are the coherent sources and they produce coherent waves. So now students, it is clear that coherent waves means if two waves have same angular frequency, that is omega 1 is equal to omega 2. This omega 1 is the frequency of the first wave and this omega 2 is the frequency of second wave. So these two should be equal. Then these waves are known as coherent waves. Now students, if the waves have same frequencies, then they vibrate in such a way that their phase difference phi 2 minus phi 1 remains same with time. For example, if I say this is the first wave, its initial phase at time t is equal to 0 is 0. Its initial phase is 0. Then what happens? Its phase increases and now it become pi by 2. Then once again it reaches to 0 point. So this phase will be pi. Once again here at this point phase becomes 3 pi by 2, and then when it reaches here the phase becomes 2 pi. So in that way what happens? The phase of the wave changes. So if I say that these are the two waves, first and this is second, so both are having initial phase 0. Initial phase of this first wave phi 1 is 0 and for second wave also it is 0. So what is difference of the phase? 0 minus 0, once again it is 0. And if these two waves, they are having same frequency, then whatever the phase changes for this first wave, the similar phase will change for the second wave also. So always this phase difference will remain 0, that is constant with time, if the two waves they are having same frequency. Now look at this second example. Let this is the first wave, and this is the second wave. Now you can see here both the waves, their initial phase, they are 0 only. They start with the 0 at time t is equal to 0. So their phase difference is 0 minus 0 is 0. But suppose after some time the phase of this second wave, suppose at time t is equal to t1. So at time t1, suppose first wave has the phase of how much? This arrow shows how much phase? Pi and pi by 2, means it is 3 pi by 2. So phase of first wave, that is phi 1, is 3 pi by 2, and phase of second wave is, you can see this point, this represents pi by 2 only. So in that case we can say that the phase difference between these two waves is 3 pi by 2 minus pi by 2, and that is equal to how much? It is equal to pi. So here the phase difference at time t1 will be pi. So students, it is clear that initially phase difference was 0, and at time t1 the phase difference is pi, and if we move at time t2, at time t3, if we calculate the phase difference, that phase difference will go on changing. So in that case we cannot say that the waves are coherent. In this case the waves are not coherent because the phase difference do not remain constant. Now students, if two waves have some phase difference, suppose this phi 2 minus phi 1 for two waves remains constant, and that is suppose equal to pi by 2. This is suppose phase difference between both the waves, and this phi by 2 will remain constant with time. So if we want to set this phase difference phi by 2 to 0, then we can set this phase difference to be 0. Now light source which produce such type of waves are called coherent sources, means those sources which produce the waves having same frequency, then that type of sources, they are known as coherent sources. Now students, incoherent waves and incoherent sources. Now it is clear that if the angular frequency of the two waves, they are not equal, then they are incoherent waves. And for such waves, it is clear that their phase difference, they are function of time. Phase difference will be function of time, means this phi 2 minus phi 1 will change with time and it will not remain constant. And light sources producing such type of waves whose frequencies are not equal, they are known as incoherent sources. Now about interference. Interference means the effect produced by the superposition of two or more waves. It is the effect produced by the superposition of two or more waves. For example, you can see in this figure, here two waves are shown. These are the sources and these are the waves produced due to these sources. And you can see that the waves, they intersect each other at different points, and this is shown by figure. Here you can see when the pin, this S1 and S2 pins, they are tapped on the surface, circular waves are produced, and these circular waves of both the sources, they used to intersect or interfere each other, and due to that a pattern is formed. You can see here in figure this type of pattern is shown. Somewhere dark dots are shown, somewhere bright is shown. So this type of pattern is seen, and that is called a interference pattern. Now this interference pattern is based on the superposition principle. Students, we have studied superposition principle in 11th standard. We have studied that if at a given point P, if first wave is reaching at this point P, having amplitude suppose 1 centimeter. Also there is a second wave which is reaching at the same point. This is the first wave and this is second wave, and suppose the amplitude of the second wave is 2 centimeter. Now both the waves, they meet at point P, and if the crest of the first wave, crest means this type of shape of first wave, and the crest of this second wave, they meet at point P, then what will happen? This point P will oscillate with amplitude 2 plus 1, that is both are having the effect of addition. So the amplitude of this point P will be 3 centimeter. Now if I say the trough of first wave, this is called a trough, and crest of second waves, they meet at point P. Now we know that as the amplitude of first wave is 1 centimeter, so this trough in the downward direction, it has amplitude 1 centimeter. This crest is having 2 centimeter. So when both this trough and crest, they meet at point P, what will happen? 2 minus 1. The resultant effect will be 2 minus 1, because here for first wave the displacement is in the negative y direction, and for second wave the displacement will be in positive y direction. So this 2 is taken positive, this 1 is taken negative, so 2 minus 1 is 1. So resultant effect at point P will be plus 1. Plus 1 means the amplitude with which this point will oscillate will be 1 centimeter. So this is about the superposition principle. So now let us see the statement of this superposition principle. At a particular point in the medium, the resultant displacement produced by a number of waves is the vector sum of the displacement produced by each of the wave. So both the waves are added vectorially. Here in this figure B, the position of crest are shown by solid circles, and troughs, they are shown by dashed circles. Now students, as I said, crest have this type of shape, convex, and trough, they have the shape of concave. this is convex shape and this is the concave shape. So here when the needle is tapped on the surface of the water, what will happen? This source, they'll produce the circles. So these continuous circles which are shown in this figure, they represent crest, and the dotted circle like this, they represent the troughs. Now consider any point P for which this path difference S1P is equal to S2P. For example, if I say these are the two sources S1 and S2, and if on this screen, suppose the light is emitted from these two sources and this is the midpoint of the source, and this is the normal line drawn on the midpoint. Now at this point on the screen, suppose this point is P, then this distance S1P and S2P will be equal. So this type of case is considered. Now, so if we consider this path difference S1P and S2P to be equal, in that case what happens? The displacements of the point P will be the effect of both the waves. But here, as the path difference is same, this y1 and y2 will be also same, and wave equation is given by a cos omega t. So if I say y1 is a cos omega t, and as this s1p is equal to s2p, in that case y2 will be also a cos omega t, because both the waves are coherent waves. And so according to superposition principle, if we add both the waves at point P, then resultant displacement at point P will be summation of both this y1 and y2, and that will give us 2a cos omega t. So it is clear that the amplitude becomes double. You can see that each wave has the amplitude a, but the resultant effect at point P shows amplitude 2a. Students, here this omega is the angular frequency of the wave and this a is the amplitude. Now intensity of the wave is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. Means if this wave has intensity, if this wave has amplitude a, then its intensity I naught will be square of a. So intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. And so at point P, when the resultant effect is obtained, so at point P the resultant intensity will be square of the amplitude. Means what is the amplitude now? It is 2a for this resultant effect. So its intensity will be 4 times of I naught. This I is the resultant intensity and this I naught is the intensity of each source. So that intensity becomes 4 times of the intensity of each source. So students, at any point on the perpendicular bisector of S1, S2, the intensity will be 4 I naught, because if we take the perpendicular bisector, this is the perpendicular bisector of source S1 and S2. So if we select any point on this perpendicular bisector, then at each and every point you can see the path difference will be same. You can see for this point P, the path difference S1P and S2P is same. If we select this point P dash, then path difference S1P dash and S2P dash, that will be same. So on this line, the path difference always remains same at any point, and so the resultant intensity will be 4 times of I naught. Now about constructive interference. Students, if we take two light sources S1 and S2, these are the two sources, coherent sources, then we know that waves are emitted from both the sources. We can show these waves like this. Even for second source also, this type of waves are emitted. And you can see both the waves, they will show the interference. And if a screen is kept here, then what will happen on the screen? At some point, exactly at the middle here, at this point, a bright spot is shown. Then after that, the intensity will reduce and become 0, and there will be a dark. Once again there will be a bright spot, then once again there will be a dark spot, then bright. So like that pattern is seen above and below the line, this line, perpendicular bisector on the screen. So a bright and dark spots are observed, and bright spots are known as constructive interference. Means the bright spots are produced due to this constructive interference, means crest to crest. And the dark spots, they are formed due to destructive interference. Means for first wave if there is a crest, and for second wave if it is a trough, then what will happen? They will cancel each other at that point, so intensity will become 0. So there will be a dark spot. So now students, it is clear that the interference is said to be constructive if the intensity at a superposing point is maximum, and maximum means I is equal to 4 times of I naught, and this happens at point P when the path difference is 0, as well as you can see at point Q. Suppose this is point Q, this is the source S1 which is emitting a wave, and this is a source S2 which is emitting a wave. Both the waves, they are coherent waves, and you can see here in this figure at point P, at point Q, this path difference is 7 times of lambda for this first wave, and for second wave the path difference is 9 times of lambda. So what is difference of path? The difference is 9 lambda minus 7 lambda, that will give us 2 lambda. So path difference is 2 lambda here. And in that case also, what happens when the path difference is 2 lambda? In that case, the displacement at point Q due to source S1 can be given by wave equation as y1 is equal to a cos omega t, and for second source, as the path difference is 2 lambda, the phase of second wave with respect to first wave, we have taken the phase of first wave to be 0, that is phi 1 we have taken 0. So with respect to this phi 1, the phase of second wave will be 4 pi. because it is having path difference 2 lambda, and 2 lambda means you can see here 1 lambda from here to here, from this point O to point A, it is 1 lambda now, one waveform means, and this is another waveform. So here up to point P, O to P, you can see here lambda plus lambda, that is 2 lambda, and this is path difference 2 lambda. But in terms of phase, we can say this is pi here, this will be 2 pi, this will be 3 pi, and at point P it will be 4 pi. So if the path difference is 2 lambda, then phase difference will be 4 pi. Phase difference means in terms of angle. And so if the first wave has a phase of 0, then second wave should have phase of 4 pi if it has a path difference of 2 lambda. And so wave equation for second wave can be written as y2 is equal to a cos omega t minus 4 pi. Now students, if it is cos theta minus 2 pi, or if it is cos theta minus 4 pi, and so on, then their value will be cos theta only. So here if it is cos omega t minus 4 pi, then that will give us cos omega t only. So it is clear that both the waves are equal, and so if we add these two waves, then we will get the same result as which we have obtained here. And so we will get the intensity at point Q as I is equal to 4 I naught, that is maximum intensity. So once again we will get a bright spot which is called constructive interference. And so it is clear that at point Q there is a path difference of 2 lambda between the two waves, and so it has a phase difference of 4 pi. So now students, in general we can say that if at any point, at any given point P, if the path difference, that is SP minus S2P, this symbol is for difference, and if that path difference is having n times of lambda, then it will show the constructive interference, where this n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Means if the path difference is either 0, or if it is lambda, or if it is 2 lambda, 3 lambda and so on, in such case we'll get the constructive interference. Now about destructive interference. Students, if the intensity at a given point becomes 0 due to superposition of two waves, then that is called a destructive interference. Now let us consider a point R in this figure. You can see here this is a point R. First wave reaches at point R. At the same time, suppose second wave also reaches at point R. The path length of first wave is S1R, which is equal to 9.75 lambda. Here, if you will calculate this wavelengths, then you will find that it is 9.75 lambda. And suppose for second wave, the path length is S2R, which is equal to 7.25 lambda. In that case, if we'll take the path difference, that is S2R minus S1R, that will be minus 2.5 lambda. Students, here we have taken S2R minus S1R. If we take S1R minus S2R, then we will get 2.5 lambda positive. So plus or minus sign will not make any difference. So here path length is 2.5 lambda. In that case, what will happen? The crest of first wave will be there and the trough of second wave. They will meet at this point. And so they will cancel each other. And so we will get a destructive interference. So now students, it is clear that the path difference at point R is minus 2.5 lambda. So now if we consider first wave produced by source S1 is equal to A cos omega t. As usual, we have taken earlier also first wave equation as A cos omega t. But with respect to that first wave, suppose the second wave is having phase difference of 5 pi. So we can write that equation as A cos omega t plus 5 pi. But cos omega t plus 5 pi is equal to minus cos omega t. So in that case, we will get this equal to minus A cos omega t. Now students, just look at both this equation. This is A cos omega t and this is minus A cos omega t. So if we add both these equations, y1 and y2, then what will happen? We'll get result 0. That is resultant equation y is equal to y1 plus y2. But as one is positive and the other is negative, the result will be 0. And so we will get intensity also 0 at point R. So students, it is clear that if the phase difference is pi, then 3 pi, then 5 pi, and so on, in that case we will get intensity I is equal to 0 because both the waves will cancel each other. So it is clear that here at point R, path difference was 2.5 lambda, but phase difference corresponding to it is 5 pi, because you can see that 2.5 lambda here, this is 1 lambda, then this is second lambda, and we have to show 2.5 lambda, so this is 1/2 lambda. So from here to here it is lambda. Once again, this is second lambda and this is lambda by 2. So this summation will give you 2.5 lambda. Now corresponding to this, what will be the phase? So starting from 0, this is pi, then this will be 2 pi, then this will be 3 pi, then this will be 4 pi, and this will be 5 pi. So we can say that 2.5 lambda corresponds to phase of 5 pi. So finally, in general, we can write that at any given point P, if the path difference is n plus 1 by 2 lambda, in terms of lambda, it is n plus 1 by 2 lambda, then we'll get the destructive interference, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So students, simply put n is equal to 0. What will get? Lambda by 2. So if the path difference is lambda by 2, we'll get destructive interference. Then if we put 1, n is equal to 1, then 1 plus 1 by 2 will be 3 by 2. So at this 3 by 2, if the path difference is 3 by 2, in that case also we will get the destructive interference. Then put n is equal to 2, we will get 5 lambda by 2 and so on. So for such path differences, we will get destructive interference. Now students, let us summarize this once again. For constructive interference, path difference should be 0, lambda, 2 lambda and so on. And corresponding to this path difference, what can be the phase difference? So phase difference can be 0, then 2 pi, then 4 pi and so on. So this is for constructive. Now from this we can write for destructive also. What should be the path difference? So what is between these two, 0 and lambda? Between these two there will be lambda by 2, because 0 plus lambda, just take the average, 0 plus lambda by 2 will give you lambda by 2. Then take average of these two, lambda and 2 lambda. So 2 lambda plus lambda divided by 2 means 3 lambda by 2 and so on, we will get 5 lambda by 2. Similarly, now for this phase difference, what is between 0 and 2 pi? It will be pi. What is between 2 pi and 4 pi? It will be 3 pi and so on, 5 pi. So this is the condition for destructive interference in terms of path difference and in terms of phase difference. So students, this interference pattern due to two light sources can be seen like this. You can see there are alternate dark, bright, dark, bright bands are seen. So at this bright, this is called constructive if it is bright, and if it is dark, then it is destructive. So from bright to dark, what will happen? Intensity will decrease and become 0. And when intensity becomes 0, it becomes dark spot or dark line. Once again, from dark to bright, intensity goes on increasing gradually and then it becomes brightest. Once again, intensity decreases and it becomes dark. So in that way the pattern is formed. Also you can see here, this is the interference pattern and the intensity of light is shown here. At the center of the screen, this is the screen. At the center of the screen what will happen? The intensity is maximum. You can see the intensity is maximum. Then if you will move towards left or right, what happens? That intensity will decrease and become 0. That will form a dark spot. Once again intensity increases, become maximum, so it forms a bright spot at lambda. Once again intensity becomes 0. Once again intensity becomes maximum at 2 lambda. So in that way intensity increases, becomes maximum, then decreases and becomes minimum or 0, and so on. This continues on both the side, right and left from the center. So students, we have seen for constructive and destructive interference and their conditions. But what happens at a given point? Neither constructive nor destructive interference takes place. So at any arbitrary point, suppose there is neither constructive nor destructive interference. For such case, let us obtain the equation. Let us take first equation of wave produced by source S1. As usual, y1 is equal to a cos omega t. For second wave, let the phase with respect to the first wave is phi. So this is the phi which is phase with respect to first wave. So it is a cos omega t plus phi. So now, according to principle of superposition, we have to add these two waves and we will get the resultant effect on the screen. So resultant displacement y is equal to y1 plus y2. So if we add both these waves, then a is common, so that is taken out, and what is remained? Cos omega t plus cos omega t plus phi. So students, a is taken out common and this 2 is remain in the bracket. Now using trigonometric equation, students, if it is cos a plus cos b, then we can write 2 cos a plus b by 2 into cos a minus b by 2. So here also, if we consider this as a and this as b, then cos a plus cos b can be written as like this. So if we apply this formula here, then we'll get this term. Now here this 2 is taken out common outside, so 2a is obtained. Cos minus 5 by 2. Now students, remember, if it is cos minus 5 by 2, then that is equal to cos 5 by 2 only. So this is written here. You can see 2a here, cos 5 by 2 here, and this cos in bracket 2 omega t plus 5 by 2 here. Now students, here if we split these terms, then this will be 2 omega t by 2 and here it will be 5 by 2. That is reverse process of LCM is done. So we obtain this term here. So it is simple mathematics. Just use rough paper and pen and do it yourself. So now we get the equation of resultant displacement. Now if we compare this equation with standard equation, that is y is equal to a cos omega t plus 5 by 2. then we can say that these two are identical terms. And now A should be equal to this, means amplitude of this resultant wave is this. So whatever the terms before this cos omega t plus phi by 2, that is this term, it represents the amplitude of the wave. So now A is equal to 2A cos phi by 2. This A is the resultant displacement called amplitude. Now here you can see that intensity related to this amplitude. We know that intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude. And so intensity related to this amplitude is given by I is equal to 4I naught cos square phi by 2. So students, I hope you understood about this. Just accept this because there is some mathematics related to it, but not required here. You have to simply write that if this is the amplitude, then as it is 2A, we have to write here it is 4I naught because it is related to square of the amplitude. Now in above equation, this is general equation of intensity which can be applicable for even constructive also for destructive. But we know that if we take this phi equal to 0, 2 pi and 4 pi, then in that case what will happen? If we take this phi as 0, just take this condition, then we'll get cos square 0, and that will give you cos square 0 is 1 only. So 1 into 4I naught will give you 4I naught, so maximum intensity. Now if we take this phi is equal to 2 pi, then what we'll get? We get cos square phi, we have to take 2 pi, so 2 pi by 2, 2 to cancel, what is obtained? Cos square pi. But we know that cos pi is equal to 1 and square of 1 is 1 only, so 1 into 4I naught, once again you will get 4I naught, and so on. So if we take the value of phi in this equation 0, 2 pi, 4 pi and so on, then we'll get maximum intensity, which gives the condition for constructive interference. Similarly, if you will take phi is equal to pi, 3 pi, 5 pi and so on, then in that case we'll get intensity 0, which is the condition for destructive interference. So this is the general formula for the intensity at any point. And other than constructive and destructive, you will get intensity between 0 and 4I naught, because at constructive the intensity is 4I naught, at destructive the intensity is 0. So between these two the intensity will be from, it can vary from 0 to 4 pi. Now students, some important notes related to the topics which we have studied. If the two sources are coherent, positions of maxima and minima will not change with time. Maxima means constructive and minima means destructive, and their positions are not going to change with time. They will remain as it is, like stationary pattern. So students, this type of stationary pattern is observed on the screen and it will remain stable. It will not change with time. Here dark bands, they are considered as minima, and bright bands, they are considered as maxima. But if the two sources are incoherent, the position of maxima and minima will vary rapidly with time. That means at same position, there will be maxima and minima which changes rapidly. So in such case, we will not observe any stationary pattern of bright and dark bands. In such case, what will happen? The average intensity is observed on the screen. Students, the average intensity I is, see this 4I which is constant, that is same as earlier. You can see it is this. But in this case, when the coherent sources are used, this phase difference remains same with time. But now what will happen? The phase difference here is not going to remain same with time. So we have to take the average of this. And if this is a function of time, then we know that this cos square phi by 2 is equal to 1 by 2. Average of this for one period of time gives 1 by 2. This type of average we have studied in the chapter of AC, alternating current. So average of cos square phi by 2 will be 1 by 2 for a period of time. So if this is 1 by 2, then 4I naught into 1 by 2 will give you 2I naught. So this is the intensity on the screen which is observed, and you will not observe any pattern of dark and bright bands.